What's going on, everybody? I know it's definitely been a while for me. I know technically my last video here on the channel was a match card video I did a while back. I know you guys definitely enjoy those videos that I do. The recent one that I did is definitely being pretty successful, getting in views and all that and everything. But I have not done a face whatever you want to say, just actually myself video since the LSU video, I believe, doing the prediction video for that. I tried other videos, I think I tried to record one other video or something like that, and I ended up editing it or anything like that. I just didn't get time to do it or anything, so yeah, I just didn't have time to do it or just didn't feel like it. I'd been busy with just with school stuff and other personal stuff and all that, you know. I also have been working on stuff on my Instagram. If you're not following me on my Instagram, definitely go and do that. I'm starting now to do more of like some of the stuff that happens on like the Raw and SmackDowns before the shows that I do on the match card videos and all that. But not to get more into that, let's go ahead and get more into what this video will be about. So, kind of the good first thing to actually come into is mostly start kind of talking about what's going on with WWE. And most importantly, the big news that, of course, revolves around the Money in the Bank 2026 show that will be in New Orleans. We'll, of course, talk about why it's in New Orleans and all that. But it has been announced that it was supposed to be in September. It will now be in October, which, of course, is weird because if you guys know, Money in the Bank used to always be a pay-per-view or PLE, a show before SummerSlam. Now it's going to be after SummerSlam, so that is definitely going to be weird. I actually ended up pulling up an article that kind of goes more into depth of talking about the change, and of course really it being, of course, scheduled after SummerSlam than before SummerSlam, and also kind of talk about some stuff that's happened around WWE at this point, specifically the King of the Ring tournament and Queen of the Ring tournament, which has been pretty crazy. I haven't had a chance to really talk about this stuff, even though we're technically right now getting close to the semifinals, and of course Raw happened, so I am recording this on Tuesday. It was Monday when the news was released. Don't know when this video is going to come out. Probably Wednesday or something like that whenever y'all watch it. But I still want to go ahead and talk about it. Before we get more into the video, though, guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. I do wrestling content like this, and I do some football content as well for Saints and LSU. Now let's go ahead and get right into the video. Let's start off mostly with the King of the Ring situation, the Queen and King of the Ring situation. We all know for the Queen of the Ring, the big thing, though, is Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion, is, of course, in this tournament. She recently won her Fatal 4-Way on Raw, and of course she will wait to see what happens on, I believe, SmackDown this Friday to see who she will face in the semifinals. But I truly believe, and a lot of people do believe as well, it's probably going to be her versus Io Sky. Now, initially when I saw the brackets and I saw Liv Morgan was in it, I was very confused. I didn't like the decision, and even with Liv Morgan coming out during the press conference of back in Clash in Paris, or Clash in Italy. Clash in Paris? Clash in Italy? Which one was it? I don't know. Clash in Italy. I think it was that. Yeah, Clash in Italy. After she was there, she had the press conference, and she said she wants to take everything. She wants to have everything. But in my honest opinion, a lot of fans do agree with this. It's just almost a lazy move for WWE to do this because they truly have nothing going for Liv Morgan at this point. Ever since she won the Women's World title at WrestleMania from Stephanie Vaquer, there was, of course, plans, and fans knew that they were going to do and continue the Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan storyline, but Stephanie had to, of course, get injured, scrapping that storyline, and then for some reason WWE not even having anything else for her. Could have done something with Io Sky at Clash in Italy and maybe still have the scenario that we're in now, but I do think they are going to bring the finals to Liv Morgan and Io Sky, and honestly, I do kind of want that to happen because it would actually be big, because if Io Sky wins, not only does she win the Queen of the Ring, she wins it against the Women's World Champion, who she can go on to face at SummerSlam, sort of kind of already starting up and building up the feud going into SummerSlam. That, of course, is probably what I bet that could happen and predict that could happen for the Queen of the Ring tournament. However, though, the King of the Ring tournament is definitely out of the world, out of the rails, and all that. We have one more Fatal 4-Way match that, of course, will also happen this Friday at SmackDown, and I believe the finals could come down to Javon Evans and Obafemi. Now, the original prediction by a lot of fans, and also sort of by me, was we could have saw Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker 3. Ow, I just hit my hand. Braun Breaker 3 at Night of Champions, with Seth Rollins potentially winning and going on to face Roman, finally starting that. But when I saw that Braun Breaker loss on this past Friday on SmackDown, losing the Fatal 4-Way and Dom winning to go to the semifinals to face Oba, that initially gave me the thought, like, yeah, they're not going to have Seth Rollins win. They're going to have Braun Breaker, the Vision, cost Seth Rollins, which will make one of the other three win. And the right choice was Javon Evans, which was definitely the second best choice to win that match. So it will be Javon. I'm interested to see who they will have win. I mean, any of the four that they have in the Fatal 4-Way this Friday, which is Royce Keys, LA Knight, Jey Uso, and Finn Balor, could go on to definitely win and go on to face Seth Rollins or Javon Evans in the semifinals. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the finals go. Now, there has been people thinking that it's going to be Dom winning it all. Now, I do want to see that happening, but I think I would like them to do someone else, like, of course, Obafemi, because, I mean, it's Obafemi. He's the biggest push star right now at this point. And I do think it's Obafemi, because I honestly believe they could go the route for SummerSlam of two ways. They either, A, have Obafemi go after Brock, because you know Brock is definitely still on his mind. He goes after Brock, and then he waits for his turn to go after the World Heavyweight title, setting up something else for Roman at SummerSlam, potentially with LA Knight or something like that. Or they do a scenario where Oba faces both men on both nights. Like, one night he faces Brock Lesnar, and then the next night he faces Roman Reigns. Like, the night he faces Brock Lesnar, beats Brock Lesnar, Lesnar finally retires, and then the next night, night 2, faces Roman in the main event for the world title, potentially maybe wins, finally becoming world champion. Or there is people saying that they could potentially see, either in this semifinal match or even in the finals match, Brock Lesnar costing Obafemi the King of the Ring, leading to whoever he faces in the finals to win and go on to face the world champion of whoever, the WWE champion, world heavyweight champion at SummerSlam. Don't know who that would be. I mean, I would be out of this world if Javon is the person, but if they are going to potentially do that, they could probably do it with someone else, like a Finn Balor or even LA Knight, if LA Knight makes the finals and shocks everybody, going on to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, and then Oba has a reason to face Brock Lesnar again at SummerSlam for the third and final time. So that definitely is my prediction there. Anything can happen with the King of the Ring tournament. Kind of easy, though, for the Queen of the Ring. There's nothing really interesting, besides, like, of course, the finals. But it's definitely an interesting scenario right now for the King of the Ring. Now, with that out of the way, I know I took a little long on that, but I do want to get to the main purpose of this video, and that, of course, is the Money in the Bank situation. So I was actually able to find an article right before I came on to kind of read more about it, an article from Wrestling Inc. that has, of course, titled WWE Announces New Date for Money in the Bank 2026. This is by Sam Palmer. Of this article. So first it's going to pop up and say WWE Money in the Bank has become such a celebrated event over the past 16 years that it's unofficially turned the big four tentpole events into the big five with how popular it is. The show is always one of the most anticipated shows of the year, but fans will have to wait just a little longer for the 2026 installment, as the date for this year's premium live event has been pushed back. According to press release issued by WWE on June 8th, 2026, Money in the Bank premium live event will now take place on Saturday, October 10th at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Money in the Bank 2026 was originally scheduled to take place on Sunday, September 6th in the same venue, which is already rearranged date to begin with as the initial announcement had the show taken place on Saturday, August 29th, one day before AEW All In London in 2026. The press release didn't disclose why the show has been pushed back by 1 month, but it did confirm that the tickets for this year's event will officially go on sale on July 10th and July 9th. So I know it was pretty crazy for how I was talking. There is something else that it does say, but it's definitely an interesting thing. It was initially announced for August, and then of course they then announced it for September, and then now they're announcing it for October. So it's just crazy of how they've done it. Because so technically it still would have happened after SummerSlam, because SummerSlam doesn't happen until August 2nd and August 3rd, I believe it is. But the final thing it says in this article, it says, this year's Money in the Bank show was already a hot topic of conversation when it was initially announced, with some fans seeing it as WWE making up for the fact that WrestleMania 42, which was originally set for New Orleans, was moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. WWE does have an arrangement in place with the city of New Orleans to host WrestleMania in the future. The earliest possible year for the event is to take place being in 2028, given next year's WrestleMania 34 will be in Saudi Arabia. So that's mostly the one reason why Money in the Bank is in New Orleans, is because, if you guys remember, I made a video about it a while back, talking, of course, about the whole WrestleMania 42 situation last year. Of course, it was sort of devastating to me, because I vividly remember watching the show and The Rock, of all wrestlers, to come out and announce that WrestleMania 42 was going to be in New Orleans. I was hyped about it. Don't know if I would have been able to go, but still was hyped about it, because you guys know I'm from Louisiana. I talk about Saints and LSU and all that, and I have talked about, I did a video about it. I went to WrestleMania 34, so it was definitely going to be big. Then, of course, a couple months later, not even a month or two later, I believe, then it was announced that they were actually not going to do New Orleans, that they were going to do someone else. And this was after WrestleMania 41, so after the not-so-great WrestleMania 41, they decided to go ahead and do Las Vegas again, which definitely had some fans wild up and had me wild up, because I definitely was not happy of them potentially going back to New Orleans, to being like, you know what, no, Las Vegas is the place to go. And I thought to myself, okay, that's fine, we'll probably get WrestleMania 43. Then WrestleMania 43 is announced for it to be in Saudi Arabia, which, again, a lot of people saw coming. In my opinion as well, I saw coming, because, of course, of the relationship with Saudi Arabia, that I knew at some point, and the many years to come for WWE, that they were going to do WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. The countless shows that they do in Saudi Arabia, like Night of Champions, that of course is coming up, and the Royal Rumble event earlier this year that they did in Riyadh, that they're going to do a WrestleMania event there because of their connection with them. So it probably will be until WrestleMania 44 when we will finally see WrestleMania back in New Orleans, which will actually be pretty cool, because it would be 10 years apart since the last time New Orleans hosted WrestleMania, when they hosted WrestleMania 34. So it's definitely a wild scenario. And then mostly after that announcement, WWE then announced, you know what, let's still give New Orleans something, and they give us Money in the Bank, which honestly, I don't mind, I don't care. I don't know if I'll try to go to it or not. I maybe try to see, I don't know. But the issue, though, with Money in the Bank is, of course, just the constant move of rescheduling. But they do have, I believe, official date announcement for this show being in October. The only problem that I have, and I think I know some fans do have as well, is just the timing of the show, because we have been so used of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, PLE, whatever the heck you want to call it, being before SummerSlam. Now that it's after SummerSlam, even when the first initial date was announced, it was announced at the end of August, because remember, SummerSlam happens in the beginning of August on the 2nd and 3rd, like I said before. and then it was going to be the 29th apparently, which was going to be around the time of AEW's All In London as well on Saturday, August 29th. Then they moved it to September, and then now they have officially moved it to now the official new date of October 10th. So it's just weird to me that mostly a PLE show like Money in the Bank, one of your biggest shows of what it's, of course, it's said the Big Five or Big Four or whatever, which of course is WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, which are your Big Four, and then your now turned into Big Five, Money in the Bank, over the years has become one of the most anticipated shows, and it's because of the Money in the Bank ladder match being a big staple point of WWE. And that's why I think with that certain ladder match, they're not going to kind of move it or anything. They're not going to kind of move it, and they're not going to stop doing Money in the Bank PLE show. They're going to keep it as its own show, unlike, of course, what they've done with Hell in a Cell, not having its own pay-per-view, but every now and then. It's because it's different between the two matches. Not going to get more into that. But you guys can probably understand what I'm saying. So, it's just my issue, though, is just really the date situation. I'm not angry about the show being in New Orleans. I mean, definitely it was just like, okay, like, I mean, at least you gave New Orleans something after you literally just took away WrestleMania 42. You know, I mean, the matches that was on WrestleMania 42 could have been interesting to see with the New Orleans crowd, especially that ladder match that happened at WrestleMania 42. But we're going to have to wait longer. We're going to have to wait another freaking year or two until we're going to have to wait another 2 years until 2028, hopefully until 2028, of them announcing New Orleans to host WrestleMania. But at least we get Money in the Bank. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Again, I don't know if I'm going to go to it. If I do go to it, I'll probably try to do a vlog. But again, only thing is, it's just the date situation, and also the timing the timing or the placement of this PLE, of it being after SummerSlam. Because me personally, and I hope other fans are like it used to be a show before SummerSlam. You know, it was a show before SummerSlam, and now it's like, okay, even though yes, the holder has a longer year to hold on to the Money in the Bank briefcase, it's gonna be even more interesting, because like, what if the holders, I should say, because remember, it's from Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. If they hold it after WrestleMania, how much longer are they going to hold it, or like when they're going to cash in? So I'm mostly interested, are they going to change this as its new like placement? It's going to be after SummerSlam now instead of before. So I am more interested to see with what the future of Money in the Bank goes, and definitely looking forward to seeing how this show goes as well. So excuse me. Now, I don't want to take too much longer on this video. I think this is a good stopping point right here. So yes, let me know you guys' thoughts about this whole situation with Money in the Bank, and also everything else that I talked about before. Let me know y'all's predictions for the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments, who you think is going to win, what you think is going to happen with the winners, or whatever else. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you guys made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. I will try my best to try to get videos out. I'm still having to deal with school stuff and every now and then work, so I'm going to try my best to try to get some more videos out. Of course, match card videos I'm going to continue doing as well. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, definitely do that. A link to my Instagram account, to the BrewCrew Instagram account, is in the description below, so definitely go do that and go follow the Instagram so you guys can go see those the little posts that I said I was doing in the beginning of the video. But again, do all the things I said before: like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for future videos here on the BrewCrew channel. Like I said before, please do that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, hope you guys have an amazing and blessed day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.